Hello guys, good to see you back. Today we are going to learn SVG shape morphing animation with GSAP. As you can notice, our shape continuously transforms into another shape. First, it's become a circle. Then, this circle become a star. After that, this star become a heart shape. Again, it becomes circle. It is called morph SVG animation. And so in that tutorial, we are going to learn how we can create it using the help of GSAP. So let's start the practical and see how we can build it. So as you can see side by side, I open my Visual Studio Code editor and my browser using Live Server extension, and I already created an HTML document named index.html. With that, I already created script.js file. For now, this file is empty. Now let's start with HTML. At first, inside the body tag, I am going to take a SVG tag. Some type SVG. Also, we need to define the viewbox area of this SVG image. Some type viewbox equal to inside the double quotes 0 space 0 100 by 100. So here we take width 100 and height 100. Basically, it's going to define a scalable vector graphic container where we can draw any kind of scalable vector graphic shapes. And now inside this SVG tag, I'm going to draw a shape using path tag. So I'm going to take path tag, path. Also I'm going to close the tag. And here, to draw the shape, we need to use D attribute, D command. So type D equal to inside the double quotes, I'm going to pass some code. Here I'm going to pass this value. And I'm going to save this file. After save this file, as you can see, it draw a circle using path tag. At first, we need to define the viewbox area to draw the circle using path tag. Here we start the viewbox from 00 top left corner to 100 by 100 bottom left corner. That's why our viewbox area is a square box. And to draw this circle, here we use this path command. M is the starting point. M stands for move to. It set the starting point of drawing. And next we use arc command to draw the circle shape. And A stands for arc command. And after use the arc command, we define the radius, Rx radius and Ry radius, which is 40 and 40. After that, we provide X axis rotation value, large arc flag value, swipe flag value, and X value. And at last, we close the path using Z command. If you are familiar with SVG graphic, then you can understand it properly. Otherwise, you can extract this circle shape value from any vector graphic software such as Illustrator. Otherwise, also you can use online websites to get this kind of shape. By the way, our main topic is not SVG graphic. Our main topic is GSAP animation. So after create the shape, next we need to import the libraries. First, we need to import the GSAP library. For that, here I'm going to use this website, and we need to copy this link. And we need to paste it here. It is GSAP CDN link, and you already familiar with that. After that, we need another library, the another most important library, which is morph plugin library. Also, you can get this morph plugin library from this website. Let me show you. So from here, you can use this link. We need to copy this link, morphSVG plugin min.js. So I'm going to copy this link and back to the Visual Studio Code. And then I duplicate this line, and I'm going to replace this source code with this code. And I'm going to save this file. After save this file, I'm going to style the web page. For that, I'm going to jump into the style section, and first I'm going to target the body tag. So here I'm going to select body, and inside the curly braces, first I'm going to define margin. Margin, I'm going to make it 0. After that, I'm going to define background color. Background, and here I'm going to use background color dark gray 222. Next, I'm going to use display property. Display, and here I'm going to use display flex. Here I use display property because we need to align this circle middle of this page. After that, I'm going to align this element. So I'm going to use justify content center, align item also center. So it's going to center this element vertically and horizontally. And I'm going to save this file. After save this file, as you can see, it do not center this element because we do not provide height to this body tag. So here I'm going to assign height, and here I'm going to use 100 VH height, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, as you can see, it centered the element vertically and horizontally. Then I'm going to target the SVG tag. I'm going to style the SVG element. So here inside the curly braces, I'm going to define width and height. I'm going to set width 300 pixel, also height 300 pixel, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, as you can see, it reduced the size of the circle. Next, I'm going to change the color of this path tag. So here I'm going to select the path tag, path, and I'm going to change the fill color of this path tag, fill, and I'm going to make it white, fully white, hashtag FFF, and I'm going to set this file. After set this file, as you can see, now the circle color become white. Next, I am going to link the script.js file after this CDN. So here I am going to type script tag, script source src source. I'm going to provide script.js file, and I'm going to set this file. So this is it for the first part of this tutorial. At the next part of this tutorial, we are going to work on script.js file. We are going to work with GSAP animation. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next part of this tutorial. Hello guys, good to see you back. This is the second part of this project, and here we are going to start GSAP animation. So at first, we need to tell our GSAP to activate morphSVG plugin. For that, we need to type GSAP dot, and from GSAP we need to run register plugin command, register plugin. Then inside the round braces, we need to register morphSVG plugin. So I'm going to type morphSVG plugin and semicolon to end this line. After that, we need to select this path tag. And to select the path tag, we are going to use its ID. So I'm going to assign an ID to this path tag, ID, and our ID name is morph underscore path. And I'm going to set this file. And after set this file, I'm going to copy this ID. After copy the ID, here I'm going to select the element. So I'm going to define a variable using const command, const, and our variable name is path equal to document dot, here I'm going to use get element by ID method. Get element by ID, and inside the round braces, inside the double quotes, I'm going to provide the ID name, which is morph underscore path, and semicolon to end this line. Now, after select the path element, we need to define the shapes. Here, we need to create an array, JavaScript array. So, to create an array, I'm going to use const, and our array name is shapes equal to, inside the square braces, here we need to put all the shapes that we are going to use, such as circle, star, heart. It's up to you what kind of shape you are going to use. But before, I'm going to show you from where you can get this kind of shapes. For that, you need to search SVG shapes, and it provides various type of websites that provide SVG shapes, such as this one. So if I open this website, as you can see, it provides lot of shapes, and all the shapes are made with SVG code. So from here, suppose I would like to go with this star shape. So I select this one. So I copy this code of this star shape, and I'm going back to the Visual Studio Code Editor. And here I'm going to paste the code. But I don't need everything from this code. I just need this command, this D command, this wave from this point to this point, from M point to Z point. So I copy this one and remove all the code. And here just we need to pass this code inside the double quotes. So this is what actually we need to create various shapes. I already extract the shape of circle, star and heart. So I'm not going to use this code. I just try to show you from where you can get the shape. It could be any shape, such as animal, bird, whatever you can use. So I'm going to remove this one, and at first I'm going to put this command. So copy this command, this circle command, and I'm going to put it here. Next, I want to convert this circle into a star command. I already copy the star code, so I'm going to put it here. So here I'm going to paste the code. It is for the star, and this one is for circle. After that, I want to convert this star shape into heart shape. So I pass this code, and I'm going to set this file. So first it's going to convert this circle into star, then it's going to convert this star into heart shape. And one most important thing I forgot to tell you. Let me show. This morph plugin is not free. This SVG morph plugin is a GSAP club plugin. For local use or production, you need subscription, you need membership. But for educational purpose, you can use it. Now, let's work on shape morphing function. So I'm going back to the script.js file, and after it, here I'm going to define another variable. Let index equal to 0. Now what does that mean? This variable going to track which shape we are currently on, such as circle, star or heart. Then I'm going to define a function. Some type function, and our function name is morph underscore morph shape. Then inside the curly braces, this function going to trigger the shape morphing animation. It's going to calculate which shape going to morph next. Then it's going to animate the morph. It's going to update the index. Also recursively call itself to create a loop. Next, inside the function, I'm going to define another variable. So I'm going to type const, and our variable name is next shape. Next shape equal to, here I'm going to select the next shape. Equal to, here I'm going to type shapes. Inside the square braces, first I'm going to provide the index. So inside the round braces, here I'm going to pass index plus 1. And then I'm going to use reminder sign, and here I'm going to type shapes dot length. Here I'm going to reminder with shape dot length and semicolon to end the line. Now you might have questioned what basically we did here. Basically, here we pick the next shape from this array shapes. Index plus 1 going to get the next shape, and modular shape.length ensure that it going to start the loop again when it reach the end of the array. So after reach the heart, again it going jump into the circle. If you extract the length of the shapes, it going to return 3 here, because we have total 3 array element, because we have total 3 array value. And if the index value is 2, suppose index value is 2, and if I plus 2 with 1, then it is become 3. And if I try to make the remainder, it going to return 0. So it going to back to the first shape again. I don't want to be so much technical, just I want to explain what going here. After that, we need to use GSAP.to function, to method. So type GSAP.to. Then inside the round braces, at first we need to provide the path, the exact path. Then after comma, inside the curly braces, here first we target the element path, then inside the round braces we need to use these properties. So at first I'm going to use duration property. Duration, and I'm going to make it 2 seconds. So I'm going to pass 2 here. After comma, then we need to pass morphSVG value. morphSVG. Here we need to pass this value, next shape. Some type next shape. And for smooth transmission, I'm going to use a ease mode. So let's back to the GSAP document. So as you can see, from here I'm going to use in-out ease mode, power 1 in-out, this one. It starts slow, then go fast and end slow. And I'm going to copy this value and back to the code editor. And here I'm going to put this property and value. After that, we need to use a callback function which is onComplete. So type onComplete. OnComplete, inside it I'm going to use a arrow function. Here inside this function we need to update the index value. So I'm going to type index equal to, inside the round braces, I'm going to type index plus 1 and then modular reminder site shape dot shapes dot length and semicolon to end this line. It runs the function after morph finish, which update the index and recursively call morph shape function to start the next morph. So also I'm going to call the morph shape function inside it, morph shape. Basically it's going to create the infinite morph loop. Then outside the function, outside the morph shape function, again I'm going to call the function morph shape, this one, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, as you can see, here you can notice from circle to it becomes star, then it become heart, again it becomes circle, and this will happen with smooth transition because of GSAP animation. So I hope now it's clear for you how we can create morph SVG animation. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next project.